Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going through round two today, and there was a few interesting scores in AFL Fantasy in round two. Starting off at the top here with the big dogs, and it was a big guy at the top here in Tristan Cherry, who started really slow. I saw in the last round against West Coast. I think he was on like 15 at quarter time, and then after that just took off. 152 in the end. People were saying he couldn't get back to it, but yeah, just dominating. It was against West Coast, but he dominated, didn't he? So 152 for Cherry. Zach Butters had a screamer against another team that should have a few screamers put up against them this year, Essendon. 144 for Butters. Yeah, absolute day out. Yeah, tackling, marking, doing everything because, yeah, Rosie went down. And yeah, we saw a few other Port guys get on the list here as we go through. Jack Steele, 138, back to some old form there. He was getting amongst it, getting 30 plus disposals, I think, and tackling the house down like always. I think he might have got a goal or two as well. Lucky Ash continuing his phenomenal season so far. I think he's averaging 119 for the season right now after 3 games, and yeah, 137 on the weekend against St Kilda. So yeah, a few teams, opponents at the top here that probably will have a few points put on them by some big names this year. You got West Coast, Essendon, St Kilda, Richmond, and now Melbourne. Yeah, as well. You got Bodie Hewlin there from Gold Coast who had a day out against Richmond. He had a bunch of marks and was taking kick-ins and just getting everywhere in the back half. Andrew Brayshaw for Fremantle, back to his old form, 132. Jaden Short kicking in a lot, and yeah, was the main guy getting anything for Richmond, I think, on the weekend, 132 against Gold Coast. Harry Sheasel, the other North boy who dominated. He might have slowed up a bit in the last quarter, but still 128. So that's what you'd want from the number one pick in most drafts this year. Jason Horn Francis, back to some form there, 128 for him against Essendon again. So take that with a grain of salt. He will probably be in the middle a lot more with Rosie being down, though. He was getting amongst it on the weekend. And yeah, kicked 3 goals, I think, in the first term, though. So exploded. I think he went pretty quiet in the second quarter, but then that second half, yeah, exploded again. So again, against Essendon. So take that with what you will. Max Gawn dominating, back to some form, 127. Big form for him against Fremantle in Jackson and Darcy up against them, and yeah, taking them to town. Bailey Williams, surprise one for the Dogs, exploded late on against Adelaide. 124 in the end for him. Jack Sinclair also continuing his main big season. Could be his biggest one yet. 122 for him against GWS, who were flailing a bit. They were really struggling in that first half. And yeah, Sinclair just took him to school, was getting plenty of kick-ins, just, yeah, charging up the middle. And yeah, a few defenders on the list there I've noticed in the top like 10 or 12 this week. What's that? 6 defenders there, a couple of rucks, only 4 midfielders that are forward there. So that's really how I think the game's going. Defenders are amongst it, and yeah, a couple of rucks popping off every week. But yeah, defenders seem to be the main position hot property at the moment. A couple more favorites here. I have to put this guy at the top of the list because I think he had like 19 marks for the game. But Alir for Port Adelaide. Again, against Essendon. A few more Port boys down here. But yeah, Alir, 19 marks and like 21 disposals, 121 points for him. He's not going to do that every week. But yeah, what a showing he had. Just plucking them easily. And yeah, a few contested ones as well. Just dominating. He's a big guy. So is this next guy, Josh Tracy from Fremantle, and Shy Bolton there, actually. 2 forwards for Freo. And yeah, 110 apiece. So Freo having a bit of a day out against Melbourne. And Shy Bolton in particular was getting in the middle, charging out of the middle. And I think he got a couple of goals as well. But Tracy got, I think, 5 or 6 as well. So big day out for him. Kind of what I was hoping. A few more of those. I think he's well in the Coleman race this year. Stephen Cornelio, another little surprise, back to some form. 110 for him. He started pretty slow, but just kicked on in the second half against St Kilda in that pretty close loss in the end. But yeah, he was actually getting pretty busy, and I think he did also spend a bit of time in the forward half, so he might be on the cards for DPP. Sam Berry from Adelaide was dominating against Western Bulldogs on Friday night. Yeah, came out of nowhere, I think, in the second half. Just racked it up, getting amongst it in the middle. Yeah, second banana to Jordan Dawson, it felt, on the weekend. So interesting for the year ahead, with Saligo maybe getting transitioned back in after that heart stuff. So maybe we'll see Saligo back in a bit more next week. And then a few others coming back, I think, from injury at Adelaide too. But yeah, good showing from Sam Berry. Is make or break year for him, I think. He's, yeah, going to be needed, I think, at certain points this year. Luke Ryan was a bit of a last minute hurrah story from the weekend. Got called up last minute and ended up tunning up. I think in the last quarter, the last few minutes, he did what he did best and junked it up, got like 4 or 5 marks and kicks. And yeah, just had a big day out in the end when Freo was just chilling out after comprehensively beating Melbourne. Joe Richards and Jack Watkins for Port Adelaide there. Bit of a difference between them, 105 and 95. But again, yeah, Joe Richards was getting on the wing a bit, I thought, even getting in the guts a little bit and in like bounces and throw ups, ball ups, sorry. And yeah, Jack Watkins as well was getting pretty busy again against Essendon. So say no more. Essendon racking it up. Anyone versing them this year is going to rack it up. Carl Warner for Fremantle against the Demons. So another one, there's like 4 Fremantle guys here, plus Brayshaw. So another telling sign that there's some teams this year that are just going to get scored on. And there's going to be a high chance when your player versus Melbourne or Essendon or West Coast or North, good chance they're going to get, yeah, above that 75 mark, I'd say. At least half the team usually does. Yeah, Carl Warner got 93 there, so a good showing from him in defense. He was taking some marks, being pretty contested marks, contested efforts in the end. It was distributing the ball a bit out of the back half. Nick Larkey kicked 7, I think, 7 goals against West Coast, and he still couldn't get the win for them, unfortunately. But he was the shining light after Cherry and Sheasel, and there was one other guy I think turned up for North. But yeah, Larkey I thought did pretty well for a forward. He's one of the Coleman medal favourites, I'd like to think. And with the new way the game's coming and how fast these full forwards are, him and who's the other one there, Tracy, those kind of guys could be genuine options this year. They could be kicking a bag pretty regularly. Devin Robertson on the list again, got 90 on the weekend as a forward option, and it seems like one of the main forward options at West Coast Eagles now. Yeah, there's a few West Coast Eagles going off this week as well, so a few of them getting up, and that's good to see. It was good to see them actually, yeah, play some good footy this week, I thought. Obviously had Harley Reid in there, Willem Dersma was all right. But yeah, Devin Robertson, forward option, I think he's one of the main guys. Zach Johnson for Essendon, one of the rookies, hadn't played too much coming into the year and highly touted. He used to rack it up in the under-18s just before he got drafted. I think he was a midfielder, but also has the ability to go down back, and that's where he was against Port Adelaide. He was, especially after Mason Redmond went down, he was distributing the ball a lot down back. So bit of a shining light there for the Bombers. Ryan Angwin and Harvey Thomas for GWS, I thought were worth a mention. A couple of young guys that probably stood up and had one of their best games yet in round 2, and could be a telling sign for the year ahead with all these was it Tom Green, Kelly, a few other niggles at GWS, and these guys seem like they could be on the cards for a mini breakout or some kind of breakout at least this year. I really like the look of Harvey Thomas in particular for a forward option. But But yeah, St Kilda could also be another team that gets a few points kicked on them this year. And finally, one of the favourites from the opening couple of rounds is Millen Murdoch, who came in 3 weeks ago and has had two fantastic games in a row. I think he's kicked 4 goals over the 2 games, 2 apiece, and has gotten over 20 disposals each game as well. So he's just a little grunty, mature age inside midfielder who I think is going forward a bit as well. And seems like he's making a difference as well. So, yeah, just another interesting story for this season so far. Millen Murdoch, yeah, mature ager coming in and making a difference. The drama that is AFL Fantasy, guys. You never know where it's going to come from. Anyway, guys, that was some of my favorite players from the weekend. Let me know who you enjoyed watching over the weekend and who you're interested to see in round 3. Got some buys coming up again. Yeah, it's going to be rough for the next couple of weeks, but hopefully by round, was it 5 or 6, back to 9-game rounds and enjoying all the footy we can again. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be on social media and yeah, follow me along for my AFL Fantasy watch-alongs that I'm doing on the weekend. Doing it pretty often and going live, so please like and subscribe to know when I'm going live. And yeah, come and hang out, chat some footy on the weekends. It's a bit of fun. Yeah, like and subscribe. And yeah, play some game day squad while you're at it. It's a bit of fun too. So use the code word MONSTAR to get some free packs. Check out some game day squad, guys. I'll see you in the next video.